building a better Bay Area. Moving forward, finding solutions. This is ABC7 News.
It is cooking out here today.
I'm pretty sure it's like 99 degrees.
It is kicking out here today. Now it's 6. We're talking about the heat wave coming to the Bay Area, and today's expected to be the hottest day of the week. Mike is tracking possible record high temperatures.
And here's a live look outside this morning as the sun rises and it heats up. Cal ISO has issued its first flex alert of the year. What you're being asked to do this afternoon.
And masks in the workplace. The new guidance expected today and the timeline of when it could go into effect.
Now look at this background.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful, but also looks like it is cooking in here today.
Already.
Really?
Already.
It's here, yes. And right now is as cool and as comfortable as it gets today.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yes, all right. So a lot of us already under a heat advisory. It began at 11 o'clock yesterday morning, and then later on at 11 o'clock this morning, we ramp it up to an excessive heat warning as temperatures in the red could reach 98 to 110 degrees. That's record highs likely. And look at this. Where's that sea breeze? It's absolutely absent as we look at the winds, except for along the coast. It'll pick up a little bit, and that's why you'll be in the 70s to some low to mid 80s in San Francisco, with mid 80s to mid 90s around the Bay and upper 90s to almost 110 inland.
All right, thank you, Mike. So we know a lot of you are going to be firing up the AC today to beat the heat, but Cal ISO is warning people to conserve energy.
That's right. ABC7 News reporter Amy Hollyfield live in San Jose with more on the flex alert that it's issued for tonight. Amy.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, we're here at the Diridon Transit Center here in San Jose. We're talking to people about this heat. They're bracing for it. They say they plan to stay out of the sun today, and Cal ISO is asking them to do a lot more than that today. They're asking all of us to conserve energy. They really need us to cut back on our energy use with a focus on conserving between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. The power grid is expected to really be pushed to the max in this heat. So the manager of that grid says we all need to do our part. And not only in our homes, but also at work, we need to cut back. Our businesses really need to conserve so we don't face blackouts.
We're asking people to set their thermostats to 78 degrees or higher if their health permits, to avoid using major appliances, and to turn off all unnecessary lights.
And the big appliances at home that use a lot of energy are the dishwasher, the oven, the washer and dryer. They're really asking that we limit the use of those this evening. Officials say conservation has made a big difference in the past. They say Californians typically step up and really do this when they are asked. So they're hoping today is no exception. People here at this station are also doing their part because they're taking public transportation. It is a Spare the Air Day. So officials also asking us today to stay out of our cars. Live in San Jose, Amy Hollyfield, ABC7 News.
Amy, thank you. That goes right into our next story. A Spare the Air alert is in effect in the Bay Area today. Here's a live look at I-680 from our Walnut Creek camera. The high temps combined with vehicle exhaust expected to create an excessive amount of smog. This is the second time we've received this alert this year. So if you can, as Amy said, drive less to reduce air pollution. And by the way, if you're smelling smoke in the air, that is not coming from around here. It's coming from Arizona. The National Weather Service says the smoke is drifting from a 1,200-acre fire that is burning there.
This morning, the power is back on for most people after outages hit across the Bay Area yesterday afternoon. The lights were out as far north as Yountville and Vallejo. Last night, though, there were lines outside of the Danville Smart and Final and the nearby Taco Bell after 3,500 customers lost power in that area. A gas station was roped off during that outage, too. The cause is unclear, but it happened at a time when the temperatures were hovering around 100 degrees. In Walnut Creek, many people sought relief from the heat at Heather Farm's swimming pool.
It's just too hot. Like the stuff is like burning.
Very hot, and that just hot.
And it's expected to get even hotter today. Many say they will either go back to the shade or back in the pool to stay cool.
And here's one idea in the South Bay. You can escape the heat and don't have to wear a mask by going to Great America's newly expanded water park. It's now called South Bay Shores. It just opened in Santa Clara last week. Due to the state's reopening, vaccinated people don't have to worry about masks or social distancing.
I didn't realize we could take the mask off, and I thought I was going to get that tan line with the mask. I'm just happy to be here. I can't wait to go on all the water rides, all the new ones. This is exciting.
The water park's general manager says they are waiting to allow maximum capacity. They want to get feedback from guests, but they also need to hire more staff to make that happen. You can check out the temperatures anytime on your TV. Our real-time temperature tracker lets you see the current temps in cities across the Bay Area. They're live right now on our ABC7 Bay Area Connected TV app. You can download the app for Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, or Fire TV. Just search for ABC7 Bay Area.
President Biden is back in Washington, D.C. this morning, and today he's expected to sign a measure establishing June 19th as Juneteenth National Independence Day. This commemorates when enslaved African Americans in Texas found out Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation 2 years earlier and that they were free. The House approved the bill yesterday with 14 Republicans voting against it. The president is signing the act at 12:30 our time. Vice President Harris will also be there, and they are both expected to speak after the signing.
This morning, President Biden says he accomplished what he came to do following his historic face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Jabina Fortune at the live desk with what happens next after this Geneva summit.
Thank you, Reggie. Both sides have agreed to, quote, consultations about cybersecurity. That was a big topic during the 2-hour and 38-minute face-to-face meeting yesterday morning. Putin took no responsibility for recent cyber attacks linked to Russia, but President Biden let him know what won't be accepted. The president gave Putin 16 areas of critical infrastructure that should be off limits to cyber attacks, including telecommunications, healthcare, and food. If ignored, the president issued a stern warning.
I pointed out to him we have significant cyber capability. And he knows it. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but it's significant. And if in fact they violate these basic norms, we will respond.
Biden and Putin did agree to return their respective ambassadors to Washington and Moscow. It's a move being described as a positive sign. Kumasi.
All right, thank you, Jobina. Happening today, Cal OSHA is expected to vote on new guidelines that would no longer require vaccinated people to wear masks at work. On Monday, Governor Newsom said California workers would soon be able to stop wearing masks, saying that the state would be consistent with CDC guidelines. If Cal OSHA adopts these rules, it could also end social distancing while at work. People who are not vaccinated would still have to wear masks when working indoors or in vehicles. The governor has said that he would sign an executive order if Cal OSHA approves the new guidelines, so this order could go into effect immediately.
New at 6, Rafael Nadal says that he will not play at Wimbledon or at the Tokyo Olympics. He made the announcement on Twitter just a little bit ago. The 20-time Grand Slam champ wrote that he is listening to his body in order to prolong his career. Nadal also cited the short timeline between the French Open and Wimbledon as part of his decision. Nadal won Wimbledon in 2008 and 2010. He also won Olympic gold medals in 2008 and 2016.
Still ahead, the San Francisco landmark that's reopening today. It's welcoming back tourists for the first time since the pandemic started.
This aquarium gets an A+ for customer service. How one woman was granted admission for a ticket that was bought back in the 1980s.
In our activity plan today, it's all about beating the heat and the possibility of poor air quality for those most sensitive. So if you can, limit your energy use, drink early and often, even if you're not thirsty. And right now is the best time to get out and exercise. We'll talk about record temperatures and how long that will last coming up. 6:10 and our microclimates are off and running from 62 in San Jose to Santa Clara at 56 to Los Gatos and Los Altos Hills at 74, 55 right now in Stanford under sunshine. We've got 64 in San Carlos, San Pablo 60. Comfortable. Lafayette, Danville, 59. Same thing in Napa. Look at that, 53 in Novato and 46 in Half Moon Bay. All right, for today, look at this. 65 at the coast at noon. We'll jump into the 70s before the sea breeze kicks in and drops us back down into the 60s late this afternoon. But 83 to 95 for the Bay and Inland at lunch. 88 to 105 at 4 o'clock. And still 78 to 97 at 7 o'clock. Tree pollen remains moderate. UV index. You want to stay out of the sun, not only because you don't want to get burned, bird, but just because it makes you so much warmer on a day like today when we have record highs. And I'll show you those coming up next. Here's Jobina.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning, everyone. We are going to start off here with a live look at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza. And every time I'm going to have to start using a different camera. As soon as I step in front, the sun just blocks everything and the glare there. But we do not have metering lights on right now. San Jose, 87, so clear. Everything in San Jose is moving at the limit, pretty much all of the South Bay. So nice commute there and giving you an overall look at the Bay Area here. The only slowdown we have right now is coming out of Tracy. Also wanted to let you know that BART ridership just hit a pandemic high. There were 78,000 passengers on Tuesday. That's the highest weekday percentage since March of last year, but only 19% of pre-pandemic levels. Reggie and Kamasi.
All right, thank you, Jobina. People's thoughts on race boil down to just 6 words, and their stories so enlightening. I spoke with the founder of the Race Card Project.
Plus, Diana Ross releasing new original music for the first time in decades. The single from her upcoming album that is out today.
And as we head to break, we are taking a live look outside this morning at the Bay Bridge. Be right back.
New details this morning on what police say was an unprovoked stabbing in San Francisco's Tenderloin that sent a 94-year-old Asian woman to the hospital. This happened around 10:15 yesterday morning near Post and Leavenworth Streets. On Taylor, who goes by Ping, was out for a walk when police say 35-year-old Daniel Couch stabbed her with a knife. Within 2 hours, police found Couch and arrested him. In 2016, he was arrested on murder charges in a Mission District stabbing. The Chronicle says court records show a judge dismissed those charges in 2019 for lack of evidence. Then, on May 8th and 18th of this year, he was arrested on burglary-related charges.
This could have been avoided had this person been held accountable for the other crimes they committed in the first place. I think our criminal justice system is responsible. It's up to the district attorney to prosecute. It's up to the courts to also hold people accountable.
District Attorney Chesa Boudin told ABC7 his office filed a motion to detain Couch on May 24th and that the courts denied it.
All this week here on ABC7, we have been talking about the significance of Juneteenth, and an Emmy and Peabody award-winning journalist is now sharing an idea designed to give us all a new perspective on the conversation around race. Michelle Norris is the founder of the Race Card Project, and she's writing about her experience in this month's issue of National Geographic magazine. In 2010, Michelle posed a question asking people to share their thoughts on race in just 6 words. Well, she received more than 500,000 submissions from all 50 states and 96 countries around the world.
It was surprising that people submitted their stories. It was surprising how much depth we saw very quickly. So not only did people want to talk about it, but they wanted to talk about it in a way that they would be heard and that it would help generate a bigger and a broader conversation.
You can see my full story with Michelle later today on ABC7 News. And for more on her Race Card Project, you can check out the June issue of National Geographic on newsstands now. National Geographic is owned by ABC7's parent company, Disney. And the cool thing is not just like you send it in to her and she keeps it, like it's on the internet for everybody to see with your picture. So it really does take a lot of bravery to share those things.
And I've been listening to her for years on the radio, so that's the first time I've ever seen her. So it's
She's
neat.
awesome.
Yeah, to put a face with a name. A San Francisco landmark is reopening to visitors today.
Mayor London Breed tweeted that Coit Tower is going to be open for the first time in 15 months. And if you're going all the way up to the observation deck, remember you have to keep your mask on because you're going to be on the elevator.
What are your thoughts on California reopening? People in downtown Hayward got to answer that very question using chalk. They wrote phrases like cautious but optimistic and it's about time. I like the one that said, I'm done with Zoom. The organization's Social Expression set this up.
Oh, somebody's scared.
Oh, someone just said, more fresh air.
Good. Flowers.
Let's give it a try.
And butterflies.
Back to
commuting.
Commuting. Oh, Mike Miko.
All right, Diana Ross is out with a new album, original music. This is the first time in more than 2 decades, and the title track and the first single available today.
I just want to say thank you for
So this is her new song, Thank You, and she's hoping that it becomes as popular as her 70 other hits as a solo artist and the hits she's had with the Supremes. Ross recorded this new 13-song album in her home studio during the pandemic, and the tracks reflect the moment with titles like If the World Just Danced, The Answer's Always Love, and Come Together. Those are just a few. The full album, you have to wait for it. It is out on September 10th.
What is the best Diana Ross song?
I'm Coming Out.
It is, right? That's the best one?
Yeah, for someone who doesn't do a deep dive into Diana Ross, I would think that would be the probably the most popular.
Endless Love, though?
Very good.
Yep. Upside Down.
I like Upside Down.
Upside Down is a good one.
That's your favorite?
I mean, I'm Coming Out has to be the classic, but Upside Down is the next one you want to hear at the club.
Yeah.
Okay, it's decided. Thank you.
We have made a decision. All right, 6:19, there it is, right on the dot, and it's pretty comfortable outside right now. 56 with that west wind at about 9 miles per hour, and that's why the coast isn't going to overheat, and most of the parts of San Francisco won't overheat, but it is very localized. Most of us are going to be dealing with record heat today and poor air quality. Clear sky tonight, but after record heat today, tonight's going to be our most uncomfortable. So if you have grouchy coworkers tomorrow morning or family members, there you know why. Heat illness risk tapers to low as we head through the weekend. All right, here's our heat pump, and it's full throttle. It's pedal to the metal. It is running wide open, however you want to say it, and that's what's bringing us the high heat risk today, starting at 11 o'clock through 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. And the heat, at least 100s are possible still inland through at least Saturday. All right, asterisk record high, so I will say those. 99 in San Jose, 105 in Gilroy. No record highs on the peninsula. We're hoping 85 to 96 degrees, though. Look at these low to mid 70s along the coast. That's pretty refreshing. 80s. We'll have low to mid 80s around San Francisco, also South San Francisco. 70 in Bodega Bay, Stinson Beach, 75. 78 in Stinson Beach, but 99 in San Rafael, 101 in Santa Rosa, record highs. Along the East Bay Shore, Hayward, 88, a record high. We range from 84 to about 94. And look at this, 104 to 109 in our inland East Bay neighborhoods. Tonight will be the upper 50s, even a few 70s out there. My AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Look at that, 100 through Saturday inland. We'll at least get out in the 90s by Saturday around the bay and 60s back at the coast. We're still a little bit warmer than average Sunday, especially inland for Father's Day. And it's 60s, 70s, and 80s average Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
All right, thank you, Mike. Now let's check in with Ginger Z, who's live with what's coming up on GMA. Good morning, Ginger.
Kumasi, Mike, Reggie, you have me over here 3 minutes looking, what is the best Diana Ross song? I'm like, touch me in the morning, because that's what you all do to me. Yes. But I also feel like Reggie and I could do one of those like TikTok side-by-sides of Endless Love and make it work. So I'm not sure, but we should think about it.
That's our future.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Okay, so I should probably talk about what's coming up on GMA, too. We'll do that. Coming up here, in the wake of President Biden and President Putin's high-stakes face-to-face summit, there are new details this morning about what's next for the world leaders and our relations with Russia. So our political team's going to break that down for you. And then many states have lifted coronavirus restrictions, but there are new concerns about that Delta variant. It is described as COVID on steroids. Experts are worried that it could spread to parts of the country where vaccination rates are low. So Dr. Jha is going to give us a reality check and tell us exactly what that means. Then GMA investigates as we head into the summer travel season. There's apparently a rental car scam costing people hundreds of dollars. So not only can you not get a car, but when you do, you're going to get scammed out of your money. We'll tell you what you need to know before you book. Plus, as America reopens, GMA is live from one state north of you in Oregon this morning. Rising and shining, taking you to the world-famous majestic mountains, the wineries, the rocky coast. And then we'll go to Europe and talk to Antonio Banderas, too. It's going to be a good morning. We hope you'll join us right here on GMA.
Have you been to the Oregon coast, Ginger?
You haven't? It's one of my places, one of 2 states I haven't done, and I need to, obviously.
Got to. Oregon coast, gorgeous. Portland's such a cool city. You have Mount Hood there. It really has a little bit of everything. We could go. I'll show you. We'll do a TikTok
and
video.
Wait till you see the piece. Kana's up there. She knows the state well.
Oh, good. Cool. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, right? Okay. We'll get texting. We gotta make
have
it
so
happen.
many plans. Okay, we'll see you at 7, Ginger, and we'll be right back. New at 6 a.m. as summer travel picks up, the FAA is mandating additional inspections of Boeing's 737 MAX. The public order is actually designed to follow the aircraft manufacturer's own recommendations. The inspections are to make sure the automated flight control systems are operating correctly after a major fix. Boeing completely overhauled the system following 2 crashes that killed 346 people. The incidents forced the 737 MAX fleet to be grounded for 20 months. Most U.S. airlines are already doing the inspections as part of their regular maintenance.
Well, a termite infestation might sound like a bad thing, but it actually made for a lot of fun at the Oakland Zoo. The zoo shared this video on social media. Keepers said that a termite-infested tree came down at the zoo, and so they used it as an opportunity for animal enrichment. You can see this black bear doing its best, trying to get inside to find what the zookeepers call a tasty treat.
Wow.
I don't know why I was waiting for a soundbite and more explanation.
You weren't expecting the bear to talk.
Well, actually, it tastes very rich. Anyway, Boston's New England Aquarium is raising the bar when it comes to customer service. A woman went there last week hoping to get in with an old ticket. And by old, we mean decades old, because she got this ticket in 1983. The ticket said that it was good for admission at any time in the future. And even though this type of ticket was discontinued like 25 years ago, the aquarium actually honored it. The visitor explained on Twitter that her great aunt had given her the ticket and she promised that she would try to use it.
Good for them.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's what you deserve. They should all be honored. Coming at 6:30, have you seen this? Coca-Cola snubbed how the actions of a soccer superstar may have cost the company $4 billion.
And the extra incentive for people to get vaccinated in the South Bay. The singers they might be able to see in concert if they win a raffle.
As we head to break, a live look outside at 6:27. We'll be right back.
Building a better Bay Area. Moving forward, finding solutions. This is ABC7 News.
Now at 6:30, riding out this heat wave with the first flex alert of the year. What you can do to save energy and prevent rolling blackouts.
And here is a live look outside right now from our roof camera this morning. We also have a spare the air alert here in the Bay Area.
All right, so if you haven't heard, it's going to be hot, and today is the hottest, right, Mike?
Today's the hottest. Yes, we're going to set some records today, and we had a few people I know in the city I live in that lost power, like 3,500 people yesterday, and I live in one of the hottest places in the Bay Area, so hopefully that doesn't happen again today. So please, if you can, conserve that energy. All right, so let's start with the numbers, and you can see all the asterisks, the 100s in the North Bay and the South Bay, the nearly 110 degrees in our inland East Bay neighborhoods, the mid-80s to mid-90s around the Bay. Even the coast is going to be a little bit warm by standards, low to mid-70s there, and parts of San Francisco will hit 80 to about 85 degrees. So we had the heat advisory start yesterday at 11 o'clock in the morning. Today at 11 o'clock in the morning, we added the excessive heat warning. That is the highest level. That is the most dangerous heat, as temperatures could reach 110 degrees this afternoon, and that goes through tomorrow all the way up until 9 o'clock in the evening. So we've got a long road ahead of us.
Mike, thank you. A flex alert will take effect in California today. So that means residents and businesses are being asked to cut back on power use during this heat wave.
ABC7 News reporter Amy Hollyfield live in San Jose with this warning from Cal ISO. Amy?
Hi, good morning. We're at the Diridon Transit Center. We've been talking to people. Some are trying to stay positive. One telling us at least it's not humid like it is on the East Coast. Another saying it's better than being cold. I guess it's not going to be cold. It's going to be so hot. We are going to have a flex alert today, and California officials are asking us to conserve energy, cut back with a focus on conserving between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. And a big ask is that we keep our thermostats at 78 today. We just talked to one San Jose resident who has his doubts about whether people will really do it.
I'm not sure people are going to do it, be honest. This is our first heat wave, and we're not used to it. So I don't think people are going to conserve. But as far as staying cool, drinking lots of water, drinking lots of fluids, that we will do.
Officials are asking us to cut back on our use of appliances later today, especially the dishwasher, oven, and the washer and dryer. Those are big energy users. Officials say conservation has made a big difference on days like this in the past. They hope today is no exception. They say Californians are usually good about stepping up and turning things off. Live in San Jose, Amy Hollyfield, ABC7 News.
All right, thank you, Amy. The Flex Alert has made hardware stores pretty popular. At the Village True Value hardware store in Santa Rosa, there was just one remaining emergency generator yesterday afternoon. The store manager said it would likely be gone by the close of business. She says the 1,500-watt generators can really make a big difference for homeowners.
Refrigerators, I think, are the most important because we don't like losing food. I learned once. Don't want to do that again.
Customers were also buying fans, plastic pools, and cool towels that you wear. You can check out the temperatures anytime on your TV. They are live in the weather shelf on our ABC7 Bay Area Connected TV app. You can download the app for Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Fire TV.
And it's not just hot here in the Bay Area. This heat wave is affecting a massive portion of the U.S., and the so-called mega drought is making conditions even worse. Joe Bina at the live depths with more on how this affects the power supply and our water supply.
Yes, Reggie, this morning, 40 million Americans are feeling the effects of this dangerous heat wave. Record high temperatures were shattered in California, Arizona, Utah, and Montana yesterday, and more of the same is expected today. California's Death Valley holds the record for the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth at 134 degrees back in 1913. Forecasts this week show temps flirting with that number. Power companies are asking customers to cut back on electricity.
Start thinking about things that you do that use a lot of electricity that you can move to different parts of the day. So maybe you're running your dishwasher later in the evening or earlier in the day. Same with the washing machine and dryer.
California lakes and reservoirs that millions of people rely on for water are drying up. The low water levels at Folsom Lake unveiled this wreckage of a plane crash from 1986. Experts say summer heat waves like this are not uncommon. However, they are starting earlier, lasting longer, and becoming more intense. Reggie.
Jabina, thank you. Developing news, despite plummeting COVID-19 cases across the country, there is growing concern over the Delta variant. Now, this mutation was first detected in India and has now been identified in more than 80 countries. Scientists describe it as COVID-19 on steroids because it is more contagious. Now, important to know, vaccines do appear to be effective against it. However, health officials say it can spread in areas of the U.S. now where vaccination rates remain low.
This is the most contagious variant that we have seen throughout the entire pandemic. It's probably the most challenging variant overall. We have seen some preliminary evidence that maybe we get more headaches with this than some of the others.
Doctors say it's also important to monitor how the variant spreads among children under 12 who are not eligible for the vaccine yet.
Now to the latest on California's reopening. Governor Newsom says strike teams, these new strike teams, could be launched statewide if COVID numbers go in the wrong direction.
We'll assess if there's community spread through community surveillance and contact tracing. We're going back to the basics. Working with our county partners, our local health officers, and we'll be doing aggressive vaccine efforts and pushes in a more targeted way with these strike teams.
The governor highlighted the Delta variant as the main concern. It's now responsible for 1 in 10 infections nationally and about 4% here in California. Governor Newsom also announced he's forming a new group to focus on health. 49ers legend Ronnie Lott and California's first partner, Jennifer Siebel Newsom, will co-chair the governor's advisory council on physical fitness and mental well-being. It'll have an emphasis on the physical and mental health of children, including young athletes. Well, there's a new incentive to get vaccinated in the South Bay.
Getting your shot could be your ticket to one of the biggest concerts of the year. Santa Clara County is raffling off more than 100 tickets, everything from Warriors games and concerts to including Harry Styles, The Weeknd, Justin Bieber, and Bad Bunny. You can enter by getting vaccinated at one of 7 county vaccine sites over the next few weeks. The raffles are made possible thanks to a partnership between the county, the city of San Jose, the Warriors, and SAP Center.
Just unbelievable support from these community partners stepping up saying, hey, we understand it, we get it, let's make vaccination the ticket to fun.
8 to 10 winners will be announced every Wednesday over the next 6 weeks. The names will be posted on the Santa Clara County Public Health Department's Instagram live feed. In the South Bay, the San Jose Fire Department is investigating how a series of brush fires might be related. It was a pretty scary scene for drivers on 280 yesterday afternoon. The flames spread between Meridian Avenue and Ray Street, and it took firefighters about 2 hours to get the fires under control. Flames destroyed one vehicle, but the fires didn't threaten any buildings. The ABC7 News I team is learning more about a grass fire that damaged 8 homes and forced dozens to evacuate in Vallejo Tuesday night. Officials say a well-known martial artist, Carly Gracie, owns 20 acres of land in the area, including the parcel where the flames broke out. Neighbors say they have asked the owner to cut dry vegetation that's growing on the property for years now, fearing that a fire would burn their homes. According to the fire marshal, Gracie has received 4 warnings for failing to properly abate his property over the past year. Neighbors are now hopeful that action will be taken ahead of the 4th of July holiday.
It is concerning because of how hot and how dry, and the winds lately. The winds have been extremely high.
I would ask him, out of respect for everyone in the neighborhood, could you please take care of your property?
The fire department says Gracie's attempts to mitigate have not been satisfactory, and they've requested a warrant to enter the property and complete the work. The I team reached out to Gracie multiple times for comment, even reached out to his attorney, who declined to comment.
A new blow to a local yoga studio that barely survived the pandemic. What surveillance cameras captured?
And you are looking live right now at the big board of the New York Stock Exchange, up by about 35 points right now. Another update next.
Plus, this wouldn't be your typical work-from-home experience. The job opening at the East Brother Light Station.
That is a cool story. Meantime, though, it is 6:38, and we're checking in with Jovina now for a look at the roadways.
Yes, well, so far so good this morning. Looking very nice out there. So I'm just going to begin with the maps for everybody so you can see just a couple of patches of slow traffic coming out of Antioch traveling westbound. Your speeds are going to track around 30 miles per hour on average. And then around San Lorenzo heading southbound on 880, around 27 miles per hour. There are no blocking issues or anything that are causing these slowdowns, but it is also very busy on the Bay Bridge. Metering lights came on at 6:22. It's also packed at the toll plaza, but I am skipping that camera right now because the sun is blocking our view there. So there's just a look at the bridge itself. And then wrapping up here, showing off 80. It is also busy for people traveling westbound towards the maze. So just be prepared for some stop and go traffic occasionally. Hi, Mike.
Thank you, Jovina. All right, let's dive into what's going on in San Francisco. Look at these microclimates. Sunnyside 52, Noe Valley 61, near 60 in Castro Mission. I point out these 3 areas because you will be the hottest today in San Francisco, mainly in the mid 80s. You may even warm a little bit above that. But the official reporting station is in the financial district, which will be 80 today. So I just want to put that out there. All right, look at all these 60s out there, even a 73 right now in Pittsburgh. Doesn't even cool off at night. All right, so here's a look at our day planner for today on this Spare the Air day. Poor air quality is possible. Now, 65 at the coast at noon, 83 to 95 for Bay and Inland. Now, the coast will warm into the 70s, but that local sea breeze will kick in and drop you back into the 60s late this afternoon while we hit 86 to 105. Dangerous heat for our Bay and Inland neighborhoods, and still 78 to 97 at 7 o'clock. So here's a look at what's to expect on your commute. Take plenty of water out on the road or wherever you are. Limit your exposure to the sun, and it's going to be uncomfortable on some of those mass transits. You know, some of those don't have the best air conditioners in the world, so I'm just letting you know. So it's the North Bay, Inland East Bay, and the Santa Clara Valley have the most likely areas for poor air quality for those most sensitive on this Spare the Air day. We'll talk more about that and how long this heat's going to last. And I'm going to show you some more high temperatures right now, and it's sponsored by Disney and Pixar's Luca. It's streaming tomorrow, only on Disney+.
Streaming June 18th on Disney+.
The world is a very dangerous place. Never go near the surface. Everything good is above the surface. Come on.
The best summer ever.
Where have you been?
Don't say surface, don't say surface. Surface?
What?
Disney and Pixar's Luca.
We're always careful.
We?
Rated PG. Streaming June 18th.
The Danville police officer facing involuntary manslaughter charges for shooting and killing a man has pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors say Officer Andrew Hall used unnecessary force when he fired 9 shots at Latimer Arboleda. It happened during a traffic pursuit in 2018 after nearby residents reported Arboleda acting suspiciously.
He fired in defense of his life. There's absolutely no question about that. That's what this case is going to be all about.
We view this as murder, period, and that this officer should be prosecuted for the fact that others view it differently. That's on them.
Hall is also on administrative leave for a second deadly shooting. In March, he killed Tyrell Wilson while on duty. That case is still under investigation. People in Texas will soon be able to carry handguns in public without a license, without any training. Republican Governor Greg Abbott signed a permitless carry gun bill into law yesterday. That means starting in September, the measure will allow anyone 21 and older who can legally possess firearms to carry in public without a permit. Currently, there's a mandatory training for gun buyers in the state. Now, that's going to be eliminated.
After barely surviving the pandemic, a San Francisco yoga studio took yet another blow after burglars broke in just days before California's reopening. This is surveillance video from Thursday, and it shows two people breaking through the padlock at Love Story Yoga in the Mission. The two opened the security gates, broke through a lockbox, and then let themselves in the studio with a key.
We had to scrape and scramble and be creative and eke through to survive this long. It seemed like we could start to exhale, and days into reopening, we're burglarized. It just felt like a punch in the gut, really.
The owners say electronics, a laptop, and all of the studio's merchandise was taken. They have filed a report with police and shared this video, hoping that the suspects will be caught.
Now for your Morning Money Report, new unemployment claims increased, and that snaps a 6-week streak of declines. The U.S. Labor Department says 412,000 new claims were filed last week. That is 37,000 more than the previous week. Economists have projected 360,000 new claims. There are more than 3.5 million continuing claims, which is nearly 100,000 more than economists had forecasted. Taking a live look at the New York Stock Exchange as trading gets underway this morning, and this seems to be a trend this week. We are down about 90 points as we get the day going.
The Federal Reserve is expecting to raise interest rates sooner than expected. This is according to new economic projections that the central bank published yesterday. Consumers can expect 2 interest rate jumps by the end of 2023. And this is a sharp contrast from the March forecast when the Fed predicted rates would stay near zero for at least the next 2 years. Shares of Coca-Cola sank billions after a soccer superstar chose to drink water instead of a Coke. Have you seen this video? So during a press conference on Monday, Cristiano Ronaldo moved 2 Coke bottles out of sight and instead picked up the water bottle. And didn't he say, drink water?
Yeah, I think that was the bigger part.
Yeah, he was like, drink water.
Drink water. I mean, he's right.
I mean, look, so it was a small thing. He just moved the Coke out of the way, grabbed the water bottle, but that cost the company $4 billion in market value. Now, the moment isn't expected to hurt the company in the long term, though. In fact, stocks of Coke were up when the market closed yesterday. Well, the state of Oregon is bouncing back from the pandemic with plenty of things to attract visitors, from parks and rivers to sprawling wineries.
Oregon is featured today in Good Morning America's Rise and Shine series. One bar owner says locals helped his business survive the pandemic by lining up for food to go. They're also making a difference for Good Rain Farm outside of Portland. It saw a 300% boost last year in members looking to invest.
We're paying back our community with vegetables throughout the season, and also all along the way sharing our stories of our native foods and generating a more deeper understanding of place for our broader community, native and non-native alike.
Oregon also allows you to step back in time to a 90s relic, the last blockbuster on Earth.
Oh my God.
The store in Bend has partnered with Airbnb to offer sleepovers if you're looking for a little nostalgia.
Sleepovers in the Blockbuster?
Don't waste your time going to the block. There's so much to see in Oregon. That's not one of the stops I would recommend.
I wonder if she was farming mushrooms.
Mike.
Mike, now don't come asking questions.
Mike is referring to the fact that there are a lot of things that are legal in Oregon. They lead the way in that.
They really do, don't they?
Yes.
Yes. All right, let's take a look at what's going on at 6:49. And I just wanted to show you this. Lincoln 102 degrees yesterday. It wasn't a record, but in Lincoln, Nebraska, the pavement buckled. It was so hot. At least we don't have to hopefully worry about that here. It's never happened in at least my knowledge in the last 15 years. So it's going to be hottest today with record heat likely, especially in a place like San Jose where it's going to be 99 this afternoon. Well, it's 62 degrees right now. Heat wave, this is day 2 of 4. We do have spare the air, and it's most comfortable tonight. I'm sorry. If you're grouchy tomorrow, I'll know why, and I'll give you some slack. All right, let's talk about the record highs. 99 San Jose, 105 in Gilroy. Mid-80s to mid-90s on the peninsula. No records here. Low to mid-70s along the coast to low to mid-80s in downtown South San Francisco. Low to mid-70s along the North Bay coast, but 78 in Sausalito. Record high 99 in San Rafael. 101 in Santa Rosa. Napa, official reporting station, you have to get up to 104. You'll be close at 99. 88 in Hayward, record high today. 84 to 94 is our spread in the East Bay. Inland, we've got 108 in Concord, 106 in Livermore for record highs. Now, around the state, more record highs. That's why we have a flex alert. Even Palm Springs could set a record high today, 117, and Monterey at 80. And this concerns me. Very isolated, but there's a threat of thunderstorms, as you can see, in the high desert, in the Sierra, and again in the Sierra tomorrow. They will be dry thunderstorms. Fires could be sparked. Something we'll definitely keep an eye on. All right, tonight, look at this. Upper 50s to mid-60s, even a 72 in Antioch for a low. My AccuWeather 7-day forecast. The heat risk continues at a high level tomorrow through 9 o'clock. The heat will stay inland at least through Sunday. Mid-90s will drop into the 70s for Father's Day around the base, 60s into the coast. And finally, the 90s are gone Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. A stretch of comfortable average days after this heat.
All right, thank you, Mike. Health officials are issuing an urgent reminder about the threat of heat-related health problems. Heat stroke is a big concern, and it typically happens when your body temperature rises to 100 or 104 degrees or higher. Doctors say it's important that everyone know the warning signs.
Sometimes it's like day 3. Suddenly you just start seeing a lot of people coming in with incredibly high temperatures that you don't see any other time of the year. They're confused, and that's kind of the hallmark.
In addition to a higher temperature, other symptoms include an altered mental state or behavior. So things like confusion, agitation, or even slurred speech. Also, look out for nausea and vomiting, flushed skin, rapid breathing, as well as a racing heart rate and a headache.
Drivers be warned, and East Bay City is now calling itself a no sideshow zone.
I recognize that these types of events are part of the Bay Area culture, particularly as an expression of resistance. But I cannot ignore the fact that these kinds of events can kill people, and more importantly, young people who in some instances believe that they're invincible.
Antioch Mayor Lamar Thorpe pointed to one sideshow in April where up to 80 cars took over major intersections. The city has 3 ways they plan to crack down: putting elevated pavement on parts of 3 intersections to make it harder for cars to do donuts, creating a new set-aside area for people to show off their cars safely and legally, and a beefing up of the police department's sideshow task force, towing cars and dishing out heavy fines.
Well, Victoria's Secret is getting a new look that's aimed at being more inclusive. The lingerie company is replacing its famous angel models with a more diverse group of brand ambassadors. It's signing 7 women, including soccer star Megan Rapinoe and actress Priyanka Chopra Jonas. The rebranding comes after years of criticism over the brand's lack of body diversity. Victoria's Secret says its goal is advocating for women.
The data supports it, intuition supports it, and I just think it's kind of like the cultural mood supports this. So I think if they follow through on it, and it's not just a gimmick, but they actually move in this direction, I think it could make a huge difference.
The stores are also getting a new look. The mannequins will be different shapes and sizes. The iconic Victoria's Secret fashion show was canceled in 2019, but it could return next year, but in a different form.
Happening today, Google is opening its first retail store. The Manhattan location will feature Pixel phones, Fitbit watches, and other Google gadgets. There's also an area they're calling a sandbox where consumers can get their hands on the experiences and on the devices. You can also buy hats, t-shirts, dog toys, and basketballs. A San Francisco home has broken the record for the most expensive ever sold in the city for a second time. It's a Pacific Heights mansion located at 2920 Broadway between Baker and Lyon Streets. It has 7 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and it just sold for a whopping $43.5 million. The buyer is Narf Naz LLC. It's a company newly registered in February. The home was built in 1931. It previously broke the record for most expensive sale in San Francisco in 2018 when it sold for $39 million.
Okay, so maybe you're looking for a new kind of work from home experience. The East Brother Light Station in the water off Vallejo is looking for an innkeeper. This restored Victorian lighthouse is a bed and breakfast, and it's been closed during the pandemic. 2 months ago, it had a catastrophic power failure. Now, there's been a temporary fix to get the lights back on, but a permanent solution is still in the works. If you're interested in being the innkeeper, the responsibilities include serving guests breakfast and dinner. This position pays upwards of $140,000. You get a health plan. You get to live on the island. The new innkeepers will start on September 1st when the island reopens. It can be, I looked it up, friend, one person. It can be a couple or a team. You need to be able to have a commercial boat operator license because you got to drive people back and forth.
Oh, okay.
You got to operate the whole inn, serve dinner and breakfast.
Oh. Do you have to be nice at all times?
I don't know if that's on here, but I'm hoping.
Oh, okay, because that's not for me then.
You can do it. Chef to the maid. High quality culinary experience, you out.
Okay, thank you. I kept waiting, like, when are you going to let me off of this?
You out.
Okay.
Up next, the 7 things you need to know today.
You can watch all of our newscasts live and on demand through the ABC7 Bay Area Connected TV app. It's available for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Download the app now, and you can start streaming.
And as we head to break, let's take a live look outside right now at 6:55. We'll be right back. It is 6:57. If you're just joining us, here are the 7 things to know this morning.
All right, number 1, hottest day of our 4-day heat wave. We're already under a heat advisory. That started at 11 o'clock yesterday. 11 o'clock this morning, we ramp it up to a high risk of heat illness as temperatures warm from 98 to 110 degrees in the areas in red.
Number 2, Cal ISO has issued a flex alert for tonight. We are all asked to conserve energy between 5 and 10 p.m. You can turn off appliances and lights and set your thermostat to at least 78 degrees.
Number 3, only about 150 PG&E customers near Blackhawk are still waiting to get their power back on right now. The lights went out yesterday afternoon in cities across the Bay Area as temperatures neared 100 degrees.
Number 4, in a few hours, Cal OSHA is expected to vote on new guidelines that would no longer require vaccinated people to wear masks at work. If approved, the governor has said that he would sign an executive order, so that would go in effect immediately.
Number 5, today, President Biden is expected to sign a bill establishing June 19th as Juneteenth National Independence Day. And this commemorates when enslaved African Americans in Texas found out about the end of slavery in the United States.
Number 6, a live look here at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza where metering lights came on at 6:22. And then a live look here at the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge is going to be busy for our commuters traveling westbound.
And number 7, San Francisco's Coit Tower is going to be open for the first time in 15 months today. And if you're planning to go all the way up to the observation deck, you still have to wear your mask because it's required in the elevator. And there are no steps. I haven't been. Who knows?
I'm afraid to say that I haven't been either, and it's right here.
I haven't been to the top, no.
Ooh, I feel a group show coming on.
So we're over 4.
Let's go.
It's time to go up the tower.
Adventures.
I'm excited.
Okay, good.
I've been waiting for you. Let's go. Waiting 14 years. 15 years.
But do we have to climb up the steps to get there?
We're doing
Not today.
Okay.
Not today. Tomorrow, maybe.